अनम्यूट करो स्टार्ट करो सर स्टार्ट करिए ना ये जो ज्वाइन कर सभी सर
Good morning, everyone. I, Yashashri Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of English, welcome you all to this one-week Faculty Development Program on Indian Knowledge System organized by LCIT College of Commerce and Science, Bodri Bilaspur. I express my gratitude to our Honorable Chairperson Shri Pramod Jain Sir, Vice Chairman Shri Ankit Jain, Honorable Dr. Archana Shukla, Principal, Reverends Abhinav Paul Sir, Vice Principal, and all the academians, researchers and professionals joining us today. It is an honor to introduce our esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Samir Togno, Assistant Professor at Schwartz. He has an impressive academic background, having completed PhD MS Environmental Science and Management from University of Philippines Los Banos, MS Horticulture Vegetable Science, BS Agriculture from Allahabad Agriculture University, Prayagraj. He has made significant contributions in the field of research and has published 116 research papers in ISN Journal covering topics such as AI in agriculture, water management, and organic farming. He has authored a book titled Practice Manual on Fundamental of Horticulture and has also contributed to a chapter named Optimization of Suckers and Phytohormones for Banana Growth. He has worked on major projects like doubling farmers' income through protected cultivation. He has received prestigious awards including Indo-Asian Best Teachers, Lifetime Achievement Award, Scientist of the Year Award. We are privileged to have him today with us to share valuable insight. Now, without further ado, I invite Samir sir to deliver his lecture. Sir, over to you. Sir, turn off your mic.
turn on
Turn on your mic. Sir, turn on your mic.
सर आपकी वॉइस नहीं आ रही है सर यस सर ऑडिबल
Audible now?
यस सर ऑडिबल
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Yashashvi, for nice introduction. And I would like to contribute whatever I know about topic is quite vast actually. So somehow I have summarized it. Uh, power is my PowerPoint visible?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Are slides moving? स्लाइड्स आगे बढ़ रहे हैं?
No, sir.
Just 1 second.
यशस्वी सर को मैसेज करो ना, एनी कंसर्न सर?
Yashasvi, slides are visible or not?
Sir, visible.
Visible.
Slides,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Is it in presentation mode? Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry for the confusion.
No problem, sir.
Today, I have been given this topic, indigenous agricultural practices and sustainable development, and indigenous knowledge in agriculture and environment. So these are my outlines. So when we talk about sustainable development, there are three pillars: economic, social, and environmental aspect. So as on the top you can see, there are triangular shapes which shows sustainability. So if one of the pillar is removed from this structure, entire system will collapse. So, but we are not going to talk about economic and social aspect today, only for the environmental aspect, and which covers the indigenous knowledge, organic farming, etc. So one of the most often cited discussion of sustainability is given by the Brundtland Commission, which define sustainability as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. That means the present generation should not consume all the resources or pollute the ecosystem services which we are enjoying now. We have to save it for coming generations, which our children, coming generation, their children. So it should be continued. So today's decision will affect tomorrow's generation, and the resource availability also depends on how we are using it, and ecosystem services like clean water, clean air, and minerals, what we are enjoying in our homes. We are enjoying vehicles which is made from these minerals. So um, as you can see here, in the picture, the left side shows that Earth is running away from the pollution and it is saying, "Save me." And on the right side, how we are going to hand over our children this Earth in their hands. So now, self-sufficiency in food production, India has achieved by Green Revolution. So after independence, India made rapid strides in agriculture by adopting Green Revolution. In 1960s, cereal production was enhanced by 5 times. White Revolution in 1970s, that enhanced milk production by 7 times. Blue Revolution, that is milk revolution, fish production, it increased 9 times. And now we are moving steadily for achieving horticulture revolution. And since the last 3 decades, by enhancing horticultural production to the tune of 11 times. So continuously we are progressing. So how did we achieve these production of different food items? Through mechanization, adopting hybrids, using chemical fertilizers, indiscriminately applying pesticides, which is harmful for us as well as for environment, plant growth hormones. So these some examples I have given here, like plowing, leveling, sowing, and monitoring of field, spreading of insecticide, fertilizers, harvester we are using. So heavily, now agriculture is heavily mechanized. Using different irrigation systems like sprinkler, drip irrigation, and movable structures, which sprays fertilizers, insecticide, and at the same time it irrigates the field. And now we are using polyhouse, phytotrons, tissue culture, drone, aeroponics, hydroponics, and so on. Agriculture system is heavily dependent on GPS, GIS, artificial intelligence, and now we are adopting robots in our farms. So, but this system needs huge quantity of chemicals, energy, like from fossil fuels. So in 2022 alone, total pesticide use in agriculture was about 61,000 tons, metric tons. This data is from FAO, and we have consumed about 64.84 million metric tons of total fertilizers. And in 1 hectare land, average application of these fertilizers are 100 40 kg. So, at what cost could the green revolution, modern agriculture, feed every mouth? This question comes to every one of us. So, during 1950s, we can see the uh, nitrogen fertilizer or element was missing from the soil. But by 2022, almost 11 nutrients are missing from the soil. So our soil is deprived of these macro and micronutrients. That means NPK are major nutrients and others are micronutrients. So our soil has become deprived. I mean, become has become sick. As we can see on the right side, one person without nutrients, how it looks. We cannot expect any productive life from uh, this guy. So our soil is also slowly becoming sick, and uh, now because we are applying so much of pesticides, our food matrices have shown that 6.75 milligram per kg of pesticides are found in our food items. And some like organophosphate pesticides like malathion, chlorpyrifos, uh, diazinon, they are found about 3.45 milligram per kg of food. And these are harmful chemicals. They affect our nervous system and causing convulsion and paralysis in different people. So other harmful effects are like these chemicals are causing cancer. 2,4-D is very common herbicide. Everybody is applying in the farm. So this is causing cancer because it is through food items. It is coming to our body. Now even the young people are getting type 2 diabetes. So these are from the chemical persistent organic pollutants,
मैम बताएंगी मैम
and
अभी ना
that's why
गिफ्ट देने को बोली
even the young people are
soldiers को
affected by the
वो आपका
type
नाम
2
बताएंगे
diabetes. Cardiovascular disease, hypertension is because of this dioxins. Obesity, this agrochemicals have disrupted endocrine activities.
गाने कहाँ
So
से
this
आया
is affecting our metabolic activities.
गाना बज रहा है
So and that's why we are seeing many people are obese. Different chemicals and women's reproductive health has been affected substantially. Birth rates are decreasing. So how can we bring back the soil to its original state? This is our earth system in which three groups are found primarily: primary producers, consumers, and decomposers. So primary producers, they can harness energy directly from the sun and they convert it to food to the consumers like us, the herbivores. Uh, they can consume. They are dependent on the plant or primary producers, and when they die, uh, even the plants, fallen leaves, grasses, dead bodies, they are decomposed by microorganisms and they convert it into humus, and this humus contains all kinds of minerals which is necessary for the growth of plants or agricultural crops. So this cycle is continuing since last a few million years. So nobody is actually giving any fertilizer to the plants in jungle. They are sustaining by itself uh, because of the carbon cycle. Whatever dead bodies or fallen leaves are there, microorganisms are decomposing it, and again the fertilizer, the minerals are available for plants to absorb it, and these plants can be eaten by uh, different levels of uh, animals, even birds. So if we see how much in jungle, usually in tropical rainforest, 10 to 20 tons per hectare per year biomass is produced. So every year, about 170 billion tons of dry weight of organic matter is produced from the forest. And we have different types of forests: tropical rainforest, temperate forest, and temperate forest produces comparatively less biomass, and because this is controlled by natural system, so soil erosion rates are also there. About 5 tons of soil is eroded from the natural system. Sometimes we ask how many people or creatures have ever lived on this earth, how our earth is supporting uh, animals, creatures, and us. So till now, there is an estimation about 117 billion people have ever lived here since the beginning of Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens appeared 190,000 before Christ era. So about 117 people have lived here on this planet Earth. 2.5 billion dinosaurs have lived over 2.5 million years span, and each dinosaur weighed about 5 to 7 tons or 7 tons. And if we estimate animals, birds, insects, they lived here around 4.5 into 10 to the power 27 quintillion. That means 4.5 into 27 zeros after 1. So these many insects, animals have lived here. So Earth is supporting, Earth is continuously supporting these many populations. But Earth has a carrying capacity. We cannot, like in this picture, we can see bus. In the bus, people are overloaded. So, but it has a carrying capacity. Maybe it can carry these many people. But if we load more people, this bus will be overturned. So there is a capacity, that is a carrying capacity. So Earth also has carrying capacity. Now we are about 8 billion people. So some estimation says that Earth can carry 10 billion, up to 10 billion people. So we are nearing very soon. So now the question again comes that how can we bring back the soil to its original state? So here comes the indigenous agricultural practices, and that is also known as organic farming. Indigenous agriculture method follows nature's rule. So what is indigenous agriculture knowledge? Actually, indigenous knowledge is a spiritual relationship between the natural environment and natural resources utilization. So this is a kind of very personal relationship, spiritual relationship between natural environment and natural resources with people. People with indigenous and traditional knowledge have a valuable association with nature and a good understanding of it. They know about the environment, and they value it, they preserve it. They significantly contribute to nature uh, nature maintenance through the use of sustainable natural resources. Their contribution is appreciable. In sustainable agriculture development, this knowledge associates with farmers to natural, physical, and So this traditional based agriculture is followed in every locality in the world. Approximately 370 million indigenous people occupy nearly 22% of the land area, hence 80% of the world's total biodiversity has been covered in this area. So these are the biodiversity hotspots. So a lot of uh, diversity, uh, genetic diversity, uh, and other diversities can be found in these areas. People in every community have their method of selecting seeds and seed stocks. They are not dependent on external inputs. They preserve their seeds, they select their seeds, whatever is suitable in their locality. So this community, they distribute among themselves, but they preserve it at the same time. Nowadays, a large number of new varieties have been introduced, but many of them do not fit into the indigenous system. It needs actually the modern varieties needs high fertilizer, uh, high amount of pesticides. So again, the system becomes polluted because if they use the hybrids or improved varieties. So the people from these indigenous systems have developed their system of agriculture. On this basis, the indigenous varieties are conserved to this particular area and fulfill the food need. These indigenous agricultural practices also affect the cost of production. That means it reduces the cost. On the other hand, the introduction of these non-indigenous varieties affects the native biodiversity negatively. If we induce, if we force them to cultivate uh, improved varieties or hybrids which demands a lot of fertilizer, a lot of pesticides, that will destruct the biodiversity negatively. So biodiversity is generally a measure of variation at the genetic, species level and ecosystem level. Biodiversity, the close relationship between indigenous flora and fauna, including the abiotic factors like in particular soil type, only specific microorganisms can be found, and these microorganisms are very important, as we have seen in previous slides that they are decomposers. Otherwise, if these microorganisms did not exist, then we can imagine 117 people who have died, or 2.5 billion dinosaurs uh, who died. There could be a mountain of these dead bodies in the absence of these microorganisms. So we have to conserve these abiotic factors, that means our soil, water, air, so that microorganisms population can be maintained. So biodiversity is very important. It conserves genetic pool. According to Warren, indigenous knowledge is knowledge used by local people to make a livelihood in a particular local environment. Indigenous knowledge includes local knowledge, indigenous traditional knowledge, technical knowledge, environmental knowledge, rural knowledge, traditional ecological knowledge, etc. So they know many things about the locality. Uh, they are very familiar with that, and they have been told by their forefathers how to maintain the biodiversity, how to maintain environmental factors around them so that they can have productive life, their soil can be productive. These values indicate a wide scope of biodiversity values for the people. Indigenous knowledge has a great deal with the agricultural productivity and sustainability. So indigenous knowledge, they are not dependent on outside input or external inputs. They are utilizing whatever is available in their agriculture system. So that is why it is sustainable and productive. In the indigenous agriculture practices, synthetic chemicals chemical is zero. So hence, agriculture is purely organic, as soil and water are not polluted. If we apply a lot of fertilizers, uh, these fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, cannot be absorbed by the plant fully. So some of the fertilizer will go to water bodies and nitrogenous fertilizers. If the temperature is high, in the form of methane, they go to our environment and pollute, and they cause global warming. So I have given here some practices state-wise how indigenous people are practicing. Uh, like in Andhra Pradesh, dryland agriculture is followed. So they do not apply, they do not have any irrigation system. They're fully dependent on nature. In rainy season only, they cultivate it. So this kind of dryland agriculture farming system they are adopting. In Arunachal Pradesh, they are using pani kheti system. Some in some ponds or uh, even dryland, they are fully dependent on monsoon, or they are cultivating hydroponically. That means in the water. Uh, this system, their knowledge system is quite old. So from the beginning itself, they are using hydroponic system. Shifting cultivation can be seen in Assam. So they slash and burn forest, and then when the productivity of the soil is depleted, then they move to other places where the soil fertility is still rich, or organic matters are still there. So they leave the previous place, they allow it to regenerate, soil regenerate itself, fertility increases, and then they come back again. So that they shift around their localities. So there are several practices are there. So I would like to focus on Chhattisgarh, how people are adopting. Two methods are there, Khari and Lahi methods. The Khari method is performed in lowland areas where waterlogging is a common problem. To avoid this, farmers broadcast the early medium maturing seeds in dry land and pulverized in the pulverized soil. But planking is totally avoided in this system. So before the waterlogging starts, they usually sow their seeds, and the crop become mature, and before the problem occurs, they harvest it. And in Lahi method, they germinate seeds first before sowing. Then they pulverize the moist soil and they puddle it, and then they sow their whatever the crop available in the locality, they sow it. But germination is done before sowing. In many states, organic manures are used, mulchings are practiced, shifting cultivation, zoom cultivation, and many more methods are being applied in different states. In Kerala also, slash and burn method is followed in some indigenous community. In Madhya Pradesh also, they are using the bone powder, mixing with other fertilizers, neem. They use the trash materials for mulching, and this mulching actually saves the moisture inside the soil, preserves moisture. And under the leaves, if you notice, you might have noticed it, that some microorganisms always grow inside underneath the leaves, and some kind of insects are also start living there. They make holes, they pulverize the soil. That allows air to flow uh, inside the soil. And if we talk about the healthy soil, uh, 5% organic matter should be there, 45% minerals, 25% air, and 25% moisture. So always roots needs air, and moisture should not be more than 50%, but ideally it should be 25%, so that plants can grow healthily. If waterlogging condition is there, uh, usually micro other type of microorganisms, usually the harmful microorganisms grow there, and that disrupt our crops. So aeration is very important, minerals balance is important. This is how we can grow healthy foods. So why is indigenous knowledge important? It contributes, basically it contributes to understanding how ecological processes are occurring in our ecosystem. Populations are controlled, ecosystem function, how energy is distributed. There is community interaction, habitat, different types of animals, birds, even the microorganisms can be found. They are uh, they have symbiotic relationship, and some applied ecology, like how wildlife can be managed by the human being for their uh, to live safely, or they can save their community from wild animals. Wildlife conservation is followed in the system, and physiology. So morphology is studied, wildlife health also these people take care, and taxonomy, they study about they have knowledge about insects, which insect is harmful and which insects are beneficial to our crops. So they know the life history of uh, marine animals, marine creatures, and how population structure works. They know about it. So indigenous, that's why indigenous knowledge is important. So what is the practical application of indigenous agriculture knowledge? We should follow these. We should learn from nature that uh, organic kitchen gardening can be applied in our backyard. We cannot do the slash and burning in jungle and grow our own food. But what we can do in our backyard, whatever land is available, uh, ideally for 5 to 6 family members, 200 square meter area is sufficient. That provides 300 gram of vegetables per person per day, and 200 gram of fruits per person. So uh, these kitchen garden include papaya, guava, mango, fig, lime, etc. And vegetables, all types of vegetables can be grown in kitchen garden. So these kitchen garden needs 400 kg of compost in 200 square meter area. That is sufficient for 1 year. We don't have to apply any chemical fertilizers. So as we saw previously that diversity is important. So our kitchen garden should be diversified. Not only one crop should be planted in the kitchen garden, but different types of crops should be planted. And our farm should be south facing, south side. Uh, in the north side, the tall plants like corn, peas, beans, these should be planted in the northern side, so that all the plants can have equal amount of sunlight. If they get equal amount of sunlight, then photosynthesis uh, can occur properly, and they can produce a good number of fruits, vegetables, and even herbs, leafy vegetables. So actually we can collect some microorganisms for decomposing our kitchen waste and other organic, whatever organic waste are produced in our household level. Yes, yes, please.
Sir, please continue, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, sir,
So
please.
these microorganisms can be collected um, very easily, and these microorganisms are available everywhere in our gardens. So you have to take wooden box, fill cooked rice up to 4 inches and leave
मैंने
1
कम
inch
से कम
on
लिखा
the
ना
top,
वेरी नाइस
so that
सेशन मैसेज तो
there
करो
should be a place
वेरी
for
इंटरैक्टिव सेशन
aeration,
प्रिया बताओ
and cover it with paper towel
वेरी नाइस सेशन
so that any dirt material
वेरी वेरी
should not
इंटरैक्टिव
go
सेशन
inside the rice, and then put one
वेरी
wire mesh
नॉलेजेबल सेशन
to
लिखो
protect it from
सब बताना
rodents
बताना
or other animals, and dig one pit in your garden and put it there. So after 2-3 days, you will find um, colony of microorganisms will come or they develop, and they'll look very white. If colony is affected by or colonized by other microorganisms, that won't look white, so you have to discard it. Those microorganisms are good, but they are weak in nature. So the white fungus, they are very good for our organic farming. They are best decomposers. They decompose bio-waste very quickly. And after collecting these microorganisms, you can use them in your uh, the compost pit, or if you live in apartments, then you can use bucket. Layer by layer you can put one layer of organic waste, and then handful of microorganisms can be spread over it, but moisture should be maintained. Without moisture, these microorganisms cannot grow. Usually uh, uh, the moisture should be maintained up to 50%. There should not be water leaching, otherwise that will kill the microorganisms. So this is how we can decompose uh, the bio waste, whatever kitchen waste is coming out from our kitchen, or other any other organic materials which are coming from our household. So for example, I have given one picture here, bio waste decomposer. This is available in Amazon, but actually you can collect it locally, and these are quite expensive, 300 to 500 rupees per kg, but freely you can collect them.
सर को बोलो वॉइस यशस्वी यशस्वी सर को बोलो
सर आपकी वॉइस नहीं आ रही है समीर सर आपकी वॉइस नहीं आ रही
Waste should be fully decomposed.
ओके सर या
So organic material picture, mulching provides suppresses weed growth, and also these mulches can be left over there, and after some time they are also mixed in the soil. They increase the humus content in our soil. So uh, as I said, microorganisms need
Yeah.
food, and these biomass are food of these
मैसेज कीजिए ना.
microorganisms. So in kitchen garden, we can plant some companion plants, which can they have symbiotic relations. They can help each other.
नहीं आप लोग कीजिए.
So I have given some cabbage family here. With cabbage, you can plant cucumber, lettuce, potato, onion, spinach, chamomile, garlic. Chamomile and garlic, they improve growth and flavor in our vegetables. Marigold and nasturtium, they act as decoy for butterflies and aphid pests. So uh, they can control, like in nature, forest. Nobody is applying any insecticide, but the pests are controlled automatically because they have check and balance system. So there is no outbreak of diseases or insect pests. With carrots, you can plant beans, peas, onions, lettuce, tomato. These are usually showing the biodiversity. Our farm should be diversified. So sage and rosemary can be planted so that you can have good flavor in vegetables or fruits. I have listed down here some fruits and vegetables which have approximate days of harvest, and in 1 square foot, how many plants you can plant it. So this is how you can enrich your uh, kitchen garden. And these days, concept has come that edible landscape should be there. You can beautify your um, um, surroundings with cultivating vegetables, flowers together, even the fruits, which look beautiful, and different colors of fruits, vegetables are planted,
Mama,
should be
you have a
planted.
nice presentation.
So there are many health benefits.
Nice
So
presentation.
fresh fruits and vegetables if we grow
Informative.
in our kitchen garden. And you can see here 5 different colors of um, represents different nutrients, like red color vegetables, tomato, strawberry, and citrus. Some citrus crops are there. So usually they are supplying anthocyanins. Some pigments are there which plays different roles in our bodies. These are secondary metabolites which gives us immunity in our body. So every day we have to eat at least five colored vegetables or fruits. We should include. Then only we can have balanced diet. And as I said earlier, 300 grams of vegetables and 200 grams of fruits must be consumed every day. Then only we can have balanced diet. And in Japan, usually they eat 5 types of 5 colored vegetables and fruits, and at the end they eat rice. Usually, our consumption system is rice, vegetables, eat together, but in Japan, usually they eat opposite. They eat vegetables, fruits first, and then they eat at the end they eat rice. That's why obesity is very less, and people have good life expectancy, highest in the world. They live around 90 to 100 years. So because of they include these different colors of food in their diet. We can have pesticide-free foods. We can have control over our growing process, so that gives some accomplishment. There is no contamination in the food. And if we work in the kitchen garden, it provides physical and mental health. So physical and mental health go together. If we are physically fit, our mental health is good. If our mental health is bad, our physical health gets affected. So it is vice versa. and exercise increases our blood flow around our body, so that benefits our heart and mind and different organs incredibly. So we have to do our own farming. uh, because as I said, landscape can be improved from this, so we can have therapeutic escapes also. Environmental benefits are there. We can maintain our soil by applying organic matter to the soil, because we are now, till now, we are mining our fields. We are taking out all the biomass from our field, and we are leaving nothing for soil to regenerate itself. So microorganisms population is decreasing. There is soils are becoming hard, difficult to plow. So this can be returned back by providing these biomass to the soil, and this enhances biodiversity of microorganisms. Carbon sequestration can be done, so our carbon pollution can be decreased substantially. This will reduce environmental impact on water, air, and soil pollution. Definitely, our soil will be healthy, and it will reduce food miles. Now, many foods are coming from different places, like kiwi fruit, apple fruit. These are coming from hills, so it has a food miles. They pollute a lot because it needs transportation. So if we grow everything in our uh, kitchen garden, then we can have fresh food and we can reduce food miles. So you may ask that how can we grow apple in our orchard? So there are some varieties which can be grown in tropical condition also, like Hariman 99 apple have been developed by one farmer, and it can be planted in our own uh, in plain areas also. Waste reduction can be done through kitchen waste can be uh, uh, decomposed and utilized as fertilizer for our kitchen garden. Reduced water pollution, because these, as I said earlier, uh, I mean nutrients cannot be, the full amount of nutrients cannot be absorbed by the plants, so rest of the nutrients goes to water bodies. And because all the nutrients are overloaded to the water bodies, so algal bloom occurs, so water becomes very green, and there is
क्वेश्चन पूछना है सबको.
fish are deprived of oxygen, because these plants, algae, usually take away all the oxygens. They consume oxygens. So there is a competition between these plants and fish. Global warming definitely reduces global warming. Improved water retention and conservation. So in conclusion, indigenous knowledge and biodiversity correlate with each other. Indigenous agricultural practices will sustain nature. So, with one quote, I end my discussion today. So, in 1990, Voyager 1, uh, at a distance, when it reached a distance of 3.7 billion miles away from Earth, so Carl Sagan, he's an astronaut, so he said, uh, look again at that dot. Among millions of stars and planets, that is our Earth. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who was explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinners in the history of our species lived there on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. The earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit, yes. Settle, not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, The Earth is where we make our stand. So we have only one planet, so we cannot go anywhere. So we have to take care of our planet. Uh, we should not pollute. We love here. We fight here with our friends or relatives. Um, so this is the only one planet. We cannot go anywhere. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful session. Your expertise and valuable knowledge have enlightened us all. Now we further move to question answer round. If you have any questions, please free feel to ask. Questions?
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
I'm having one question, sir.
Yes,
Sir, you talked about different colors of vegetables, like the Japanese people they use.
yes.
So, do you think it is beneficial, and what we Indians are eating, the procedure is not in the right way? For example, like sir, of late we have heard so much of moringa powder, but
Yes,
that is
yes.
actually drumstick, which was very much there in India.
Yes,
So,
yes.
do you think we Indian are not using the right type of food, or the food habit is not that appropriate, sir?
Yes, definitely. Moringa is rich of nutrients. It has a lot of iron, calcium, and different types of vitamins. So, but people are these days people do not like to eat these things, healthy items. They are inclined towards the processed foods, like chips, that is easy to eat, easy to consume, everywhere it is available. So, indigenous knowledge, we are losing the value of foods which can be grown in our field. These are available around us, but we are not recognizing it. So that's why 50% of the population is iron deficient. People have in villages we can see only they are consuming carbohydrates mostly, rice and dal, most and only carbohydrate and protein. But we need different types of nutrients, as I indicated, at least 17 types of micronutrients, macronutrients. So these, until and unless we are going back towards consuming these vegetables which are locally available, actually people are exporting it. They are not consuming here. Moringa is very expensive in other countries, like 10 gram, it costs around 500 rupees. But here it is freely available, but people are not consuming it.
True, sir.
That's the sad part of our country.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions?
अरे मेरे
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है, मैंने
हाँ।
अपने कॉलेज के एरियाज में लीफ माइनर का अटैक बहुत ज़्यादा देखा है प्लांट्स के ऊपर, तो हम उसे कैसे कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं ऑर्गेनिकली?
सबसे अच्छा क्योंकि ये लीफ माइनर जो है लीफ के अंदर होते हैं, तो सबसे अच्छा तरीका है जो लीफ जैसे ही वो दिखाई देते हैं लीफ माइनर्स, लीफ को तुरंत तोड़ करके हटा दीजिए। उसको सिर्फ वहाँ, लेकिन वहाँ पे फेंकना नहीं है, कहीं दूर आप उसको फेंक दीजिए। और बेसिकली लीफ माइनर का जो वेक्टर्स हैं वो इंसेक्ट्स होते हैं, तो इंसेक्ट्स को कंट्रोल करने के लिए जैसे कि बायोडाइवर्सिटी हम लोग को मेंटेन करना है, तो बीच बीच में वेजिटेबल्स के बीच में हम गेंदे का फूल लगा दिए, नासरशियम लगा दिए। अगर तब भी कंट्रोल नहीं हो रहा है तो हम नीम ऑयल का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, या तो फिर हम चिली गार्लिक उसका पेस्ट बना करके, जैसे 10-10 ग्राम चिली का ले लिया, 10 ग्राम गार्लिक का 10 ग्राम ले लिया, और जिंजर 10 ग्राम, इनको पीस करके ओवरनाइट हम पानी में रख देते हैं और सुबह उसको छान करके हम स्प्रे करेंगे, तो ये जो इंसेक्ट्स का इन्फेस्टेशन है वो कम हो जाएगा।
ओके, थैंक यू सर। सर एक क्वेश्चन ना चैट पे आया हुआ है। Nowadays, major farmers selling agricultural land and migrating towards laboratories. What measures can be taken? Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes. Nowadays, major farmers selling agricultural lands
Land and
and
they're
migrating
migrating.
towards laborious works. What
Yes.
measures can be taken?
Laboratories.
Um, yes, actually, many people are migrating to cities. So, population of city is becoming overcrowded. So soon, villages will be empty. So we have to provide some jobs to them. We have to provide the source of income so that they will not migrate. So we can have some cooperative type of things, like we can open cooperative so that through cooperative they can sell their products, whatever local products are there. So that can be sold to people around them. That will give them the income. Then they may stay back in their respective villages. I think Yashashvi, you are mute.
Any other questions?
नमस्ते सर।
नमस्ते
सर मेरा एक प्रश्न है
जी।
सर, जो ये मार्च के महीने में मीठी नीम का जो सर पेड़ होता है,
जी
तो
जी।
मार्च के महीने में सर उसकी पत्तियों में एक चिपचिपा सा पदार्थ हो जाता है और एक व्हाइट कलर के पूरे जाले जैसे बन जाते हैं।
अच्छा,
तो सर उसे कैसे ठीक किया जा सकता है सर, क्योंकि वो उपयोग करने लायक तो रह नहीं जाती हैं।
जो उसको सिंपली वाटर का स्प्रे कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि वो जो है बहुत सारे कीड़े आ जाते हैं। मार्च महीने में इनका इरप्शन होता है बहुत ज़्यादा, ये क्योंकि इनको फेवरेबल कंडीशन मिल जाता है, तो इंसेक्ट्स बहुत ज़्यादा ग्रोथ में आ जाते हैं। क्योंकि इंसेक्ट्स का नेचर है बूम एंड बर्स्ट। जब भी मौका मिलता है, जब भी फेवरेबल कंडीशन मिलता है, ये तुरंत अपना पॉपुलेशन बढ़ा लेते हैं। तो सबसे अच्छा है आप विनेगर जो है 2 ml 1 लीटर पानी में विनेगर को डाल दीजिए, जो किचन में यूज़ करते हैं विनेगर, और उसको स्प्रे कर दीजिए। और उससे पानी थोड़ा ज़्यादा स्प्रे कर देंगे तो जो चिपचिपापन खत्म हो जाएगा।
जी, थैंक यू सर।
हाँ, वेलकम।
सर एक क्वेश्चन और था। आजकल हमारा जो लैंड है, जो हम एग्रीकल्चर करते हैं, वो ऑलरेडी हम केमिकल यूज करके करते हैं। तो अभी हमें हमारे लैंड को ऑर्गेनिक करना है, हमें ऑर्गेनिक कल्टीवेशन स्टार्ट करना है, तो उसका क्या प्रोसीजर होगा?
ऑर्गेनिक में कन्वर्ट करना है तो जैसे कि हम पूरे लैंड को एक बार में कन्वर्ट नहीं करेंगे। 25% इस साल किया, 2 साल तक हम 25% में ही करेंगे। इसके बाद तीसरे चौथे साल में फिर 50% तक पहुंचाएंगे। इसके बाद बाकी जो है वो 8 से 10 साल तक में हम उनको कन्वर्ट करेंगे ऑर्गेनिक में, क्योंकि इसमें सॉइल की जो फर्टिलिटी है वो बहुत कम हो गई है। इसमें ज़्यादातर हम बता रहे थे कि सॉइल का माइनिंग हो गया है, न्यूट्रिएंट्स का माइनिंग हो गया है। जितना भी बायोमास वहाँ पे होना चाहिए था, वहाँ पे ऑर्गेनिक मैटर होना चाहिए था, सब हम लोग वहाँ से निकाल चुके हैं, क्योंकि हम लोग इंटेंसिव फार्मिंग सिस्टम यूज़ करते हैं। तो इंटेंसिव फार्मिंग सिस्टम में कोई टाइम नहीं रहता है, तो ये माइनिंग करना बहुत ज़रूरी है। माइनिंग में जितना भी ऑर्गेनिक मैटर सबको हटा देते हैं, ताकि हम दूसरे सीजन के लिए, दूसरे क्रॉप के लिए हम तैयारी कर सकें। तो इसलिए हम लोग को धीरे धीरे एक बार में पूरा जैसे 1 हेक्टेयर है लैंड है, तो पूरे 1 हेक्टेयर को एक ही बार में चेंज नहीं करना है, धीरे धीरे करके हमको चेंज करना है। पहले 2 साल 25% लैंड को ऑर्गेनिक कन्वर्ट किया, फिर 50% तक गए, फिर 8 साल 10 साल तक में। इसमें टाइम भी लगता है, क्योंकि न्यूट्रिएंट्स इतने डिप्लीट हो गए हैं, माइक्रो न्यूट्रिएंट्स, उनको आने में टाइम लगता है, तो प्रोडक्टिविटी कम रहती है। तो इसलिए अचानक से कम ना हो, हमारे खाने खाने के लिए तो रहे, इसीलिए धीरे धीरे हम इसको कन्वर्ट करते हैं।
सर कितना टाइम लग जाता होगा एक लैंड को ऑर्गेनिक में कन्वर्ट होने में, एक साथ सब इंक्लूड करके?
फुल्ली ऑर्गेनिक कहें तो, क्योंकि बहुत सारे जो केमिकल्स हैं वो परसिस्टेंट हैं, कोई कोई केमिकल्स 25 साल 50 साल तक रहते हैं, तो उसको हटाना या तो पूरा मिट्टी हटाना पड़ेगा, ये तो संभव नहीं है। तो इसीलिए हम धीरे धीरे करके उनको हटाते हैं। तो कम से कम ऑर्गेनिकली फुल्ली ऑर्गेनिकली होने के लिए इनका एलिमेंट्स जो है बहुत फ्रेश रहें, इसके लिए कम से कम 8 से 10 साल लग जाते हैं, क्योंकि उसमें ऑलरेडी बहुत सारे केमिकल्स अप्लाइड हो चुके हैं। तो इसीलिए 8 से 10 साल तक फुल्ली प्योरली ऑर्गेनिक प्रोडक्ट तभी हमको मिल पाएगा।
थैंक यू सर। एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस?
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन
जी।
सर, क्या हाइब्रिड फ्रूट और फूड जो है वो हमारे हेल्थ के लिए अच्छा है?
हाइब्रिड, हाँ हाइब्रिड अगर वो नेचुरली क्रॉसब्रीड किया गया है, तो नेचुरल सिलेक्शन से किया गया, तो उनको इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। क्योंकि नेचर में भी देखिए हाइब्रिडाइजेशन का प्रोसेस होते रहता है, क्योंकि इंसेक्ट जो है एक फ्लावर से दूसरे फ्लावर्स में जाते हैं, तो क्रॉसिंग होते रहती है, वो नेचुरल तरीका है। अगर हम उसमें जीएमओ वगैरह डालते हैं तो वो हार्मफुल हो सकता है।
Thank you, sir. Now, sir, I would like to call Dean of Arts Department for vote of thanks.
Good noon to everyone present over here on this online mode of FDP. I, Umesh Patnaik, Dean of Arts, feel happy to express my gratitude to present the vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to thank our respective chairman sir, Pramod Jain sir, Vice Chairman Ankit Jain sir, Honorable Principal Ma'am Dr. Archana Shukla Ma'am, Vice Principal Abhinav Rao sir, for providing us with this platform, guidance and benedictions, for which we could make this online FDP on the third day successful one. Definitely, I would like to express my gratitude and thanks to Honorable Speaker of the Day, Dr. Samir Tupni sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time, for helping all of us to show a path so that what we can achieve in our future endeavors. And definitely, I would like to thank my host of the day, Yashashvi Sharma, my entire arts department, who has stood by rock beside me for making this FDP a success. And definitely I would like to thank all the participants who have been actively participating in this event, and we are trying to achieve our goal and make it success. Just a reminder, tomorrow again we will be joining at the same time, 1 o'clock. Thank you so much everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for this knowledgeable session. Now, I would like to end this program over here. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, thank you.
सर मैंने कैसा बोला?
अच्छा बना।
उल्टा उल्टा इंग्लिश तो नहीं किया?
ना ना